Hello everyone, and welcome to Christmas Hobby Blog. Hey, you may notice that new specs for close-up work and looking at screens. Just a slight weakness in my left eye, as Wilson said, but I opted not for the monocle because they're for Oscars only. If you get the reference, brilliant, excellent. So you may hear the clatter of trains in the background. I'll include some running clips, and hopefully version 1 of this video will be the one that works alright, without copyright strike. But do you know what, let's not even go there. I'll re-edit the video and you just have the clatter of the trains. You'll see those running. So some of you will know from the past that frequently I sit here and go, well folks, I've actually decided I'm going to do this instead, I'm going to do that instead. And after some frequent conversations with Anthony, with Dale, with Gary Oakhill, particularly, there's always been a thought, it's a shame we got no room to do them all, whatever. And actually I've decided I'm going to do them all. I'm going to do all my ideas now, and I've just tested the last one. Actually, I say I do all the ideas. There's one country that's being left out a little bit here, but I am using that country stop to do the other one. So yeah, the majority of this stuff is still going to head to the Highboy and Hogger, I believe, Dale. Yeah, but anyway, in the meantime, unless I come up with something else in the meantime, but UK double O gauge. Let's tackle UK double O gauge first. Now, in front of me, I have got the. Now, some people will know instantly what that is. Yes, it's some wheels and a motor. That is from the Bachmann Duke Dog, or Earl class, if you prefer. The word we know is Duke Dogs more. This is the bot loco. And that arrived to be our early weathered one version. So I've cut the smokebox number plate off. Some people may have seen an Instagram post about it, or Twitter. And carefully cut that off, kept it as smooth as possible, giving it a nice repaint. I'm keeping the tender weathered on the underframe because the version of Great Western I want to put on here, the Duke Dogs never officially carried because they were too new for it, basically, which is the full, I can show you a demonstration, the full written out Great Western, like this Kerr Stuart Victory, like that. That's my preferred livery on the Great Western Railway. Which also is a recent repaint, by the way, number 666 there. I had two from the Outstanding Docks Railway, 666, 667. And then they had another one from another railway, I think from the Barry Railway or something like that, but that was 18 something or something like that. It was given quite a 4-digit number, quite a big one. And that one was sold into industry. These two survived the retroities. So ironically, they all came into BR at some point. If I did get the railway right for the other one. Interesting. Anyway, it was either Barry or Brecon. It was one of the other Welsh companies that the Gallida Rail sold. But anyway, so I'm not actually doing anything with the double O just yet. I was going to do it above the N gauge, but with the way I'm thinking now, it's actually going to be better to do UK N gauge, the UK layout above the Japanese one, above the Japanese one on the base. So we get the 2-track Japanese layout, and then a UK branch line on top of that. That's going to be better at N, purely because I can keep it to one side and use more space for scenery on the Japanese one as well, so there's space for scenery on both. So that's going to be using my recently repaired, I'm very pleased I repaired this, pannier tank. I would like to get some more of those. I love panniers. I've got two of the Dapol moguls on order. I have one with Great Western written out, one with GWR, like that one. All analog. I'm not looking to do DCC with this. I think my DCC layout is going to be the double O when it happens. So we've ticked off Britain, we've ticked off Japan. But we're going to go back to the double O stuff because that's where we started. So the double O British is going to eventually happen in the new space. I'll have a better room to do a similar thing to what I'm doing here. I want to do a Welsh branch line, Mid Wales branch line, somewhere in the region of Merthyr, that sort of way. Fictional, of course, but that's going to be a nod not only to my interest in the Great Western as my favourite UK railway, but also a nod to my great-great-grandfather Thomas Thomas, who wasn't the only Thomas Thomas in Merthyr at the time, who worked for the one of the local coal mines, then went to work for the Great Western Railway and became an engine driver, before leaving the Great Western again and going back to the coal mines to drive engines there, and then retrained as an electrician and moved to the Midlands with his family, which is how his daughter, my great-grandmother, met my great-grandfather Aubrey Bunny. So yeah, bit of a treat there. So yes, there's Welsh in me somewhere. Commiserations to all Welsh viewers, by the way, for the rugby score today. Yes. But yeah, so a bit of a nod there, and it would be cracking as it's an engage to be able to have something, I have no idea what it would be, but something that he possibly would have driven, an engine with a number. See, as I've got Cold Hall Power Station, the Class 31, which was the first loco I ever got to drive. It would be really, really cool to let's say that there's mine and that may have to happen in double O, because the double O one will also be that sort of Welsh theme. Now, in the true fashion of these railways, these layouts, these Great Western branch lines, there's some important rules, because everyone does them. Everyone did them at one point, because that's mostly what was available as Great Western stuff. They've got to be busier than Paddington. And you can see everything up to the top link kings on trains if you want to, but no, the initial collections are going to be as much as possible to what I can get to the engines you should have seen. Now the 001 is much easier, with the Dean guns being out from Oxford Rail. I need to get one of those. I'll be on the lookout for one of those in Great Western livery for a good price. Not bothered about it being sound just yet. Also got the Duke Dog. Interestingly, I've got a book on the Mid Wales, Great Western, that sort of region of it, and the locos most famed from the Great Western for being in Wales, the 062 tanks, the 56XXs, don't feature at all in that book. That entire book has not got a single one in it. But I would like to add one of those to my collection here. The Small Prairie, Panniers, they were the mainstay. The Duke Dogs really feature in there. I'm picturing my Duke Dog at a time where the manners have started to come in, so it's being pushed off the Cambrian a bit by the introduction of the 460s, and it's been found an odd job to do on my railway. And just for that link to a older time before the Great Western came in, that's where the Kerr Stewart comes in as an absorbed engine, and that's why it's staying completely standard stock, because it'd be really cool to have something Great Western Livery that's not been Swintonised yet. So yes, that's much easier in double O. That's the ultimate idea, is eventually when I get the bigger space as well, is to do a new layout for the double O, using that beautiful Trixie track, and yeah, have a nice Great Western branch line in that. Yes, so that's that. So in the UK engage, obviously the same idea, but in here. And for both, eventually, I think I might look to doing a joint 2 era layout. I'm not quite sure on that yet. More so maybe the engage than the double O, because I do have things like, unless it's the Heritage Railway, I suppose, because I do have things like this Ivet 2MT from Farish here. Oh, don't want the hand shaking. Not probably trying to be. I got myself in a funny angle there, which don't fit otherwise. So that one was apparently built at Swindon, spent its entire life on the Western, which is interesting. Especially when I see, because that was preserved, and I see it on the photos, ex-LMS. No, it wasn't. It was built by Swindon, built at Swindon. It was built during the British Railways era, and it was built at Swindon. It's an LMS design, but that's how it goes. Anyway, So we've ticked off that one and that one. Now, those of you who know me will know I've tried to do a first of all layout. In fact, I did one in the past. There should be videos of it coming up at some point on the if they're not already up. But yes, that will be happening. All one trench row will be happening. I'll be building that with my good buddy Greg. We're going to combine it with a bit of an airfield and bring 100 Squadron onto the airfield with the Handy Pedro 400. It's going to be interesting to try and do that, and hopefully that one might be exhibited along with the one I've got here, which could also be exhibited. But yes, that should combine the trench railway there. And we'll go. And then the next one that some people may know about, some people may not. Some people may remember I had 3 Chinese locos at one point. QJ, I want to say JS and an SY. I can't remember the middle one. I know I had a QJ and an SY. There was another 282 in the middle of that. Well, 282 in the middle of that. It wasn't the SY. But yes, and one of my little pleasures is the railways of China, the steam locomotives of China. I don't know an awful lot about them. I've got some fantastic books. One I picked up off an old friend. One I got from Stackfold actually last time I went. And yeah, it's been one of my 2 favourite locos, even above Deer Lodestar, which is a gorgeous locomotive. That Star Class, that Great Western Star Class. Beautiful locomotive. One of my 2 locos that I gravitate most towards, or 2. Can you really call the Shinkansen power cab car a loco, can you? But the 2 items I draw me most are KF7, the Chinese, ex-Chinese Railways loco, and the Shinkansen at York. Actually, so I think I used to meet you at York and you lose me, that's where you'll find me. And they're right next to each other, so it's quite easy to find me. Yeah, so yeah, that's another thing. Anyway, so the thing about the SYs is they were a sort of semi-copy of an American design, and I've looked at the USRA light Mikado, and I reckon with a little bit of modification, a little bit of old school modelling as it were, a little bit of modification, I could get a passable, not an ultra detail, but think old school modelling where you took a base model and you did what you could to it to make it as close as you could, and that's what I'm going to do. Try and do an SY. Now, the heavy Mikado, which I have, a Kato heavy Mikado, is not dissimilar in outline to the KF. Except the KF is a 484, this is a 282, obviously, bit of Mikado. But I thought, hey, what the heck? If this actually, because I started building a sort of shunting layout because the penny was working, yeah, it's meant to be a quick pick up the layout and just play with it. It's not going to be anything too taxing. It's a simple lingered up, basically. I thought, I've got this American stock. I've just checked, it all fits. Brilliant, wonderful. And I'll show the layout. I'll sort of, on the end of this, there's going to be an awful lot of extra video, I suppose, but of trains running. Well, actually, let's have some trains running now. So yes, hope you enjoyed those couple of clips of the 81 series. It is 81 series. I wasn't making it up. You think I'd try to hit record again, wouldn't you? But hey, no one ever accused me of being professional. And the DD51-800 there. DD51-800 I don't believe is actually right for a 70s running period, but this is basically a 70s sort of running session I've got going on. That's what I'm trying to represent here. I cleaned the wheels on the 81 series and it's running better than ever before. Weirdly, isn't it? Yeah, pretty cool. So anyway, back to JavaScript now. So I have a drink now, start choking. Anyway, and yeah, so that's what's going to happen to some of my American stock. Is it's going to become Chinese, and I've got Kiwi are mine, which was the layout I was planning to build pre-COVID. This one the layout, and I believe that it's actually Harthill, mine. But so yes, it's going to be mostly cold cars because there's basically the same design used in both. And I'm going to repaint a couple of American steam locos I've got to represent the rest of the Chinese, of course. Well, I say repaint a couple. I'm going to repaint the heavy Mikado for definite. The light Mikado. I have a 460 over there, which is N scale, DCC fitted, not sound, just regular DCC. It's Bachmann, and I'm not sure. I'll have to do some research if I can find anything remotely close to it on the Chinese system. Otherwise, I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not. Whatever I'll do for it, because hey, why not? Maybe it was a one-off order, eh? Interesting when you're doing a country that's been friends and not friends with the West. You've got a bit of scope. Yes, I'll have a look at that. Anyway, so that covers that. So, right, I'm back to Britain for a minute. So, yes, so I've got my little branch line in here. I've got my double O branch line I want to do. I want to have more room, and what I want then is basically the ultimate idea is the board it's currently here will go. And then my bigger boards I actually brought for this space will come in, and that's when we'll get the proper Japanese layout in here. And yes, part of it probably will still be this branch line over the top, British branch line top. So that will get redeveloped as well. So this is all relatively sort of temporary, and I won't necessarily use all my nice buildings on this. On my Studio Ghibli ones won't go on here just yet. I'll have a go at making my own versions of that can sit, because they're £50 a pop, and I'm going to wait for the proper layout for that. I've got an idea what I want to do on there, so that's fine for this one. Anyway, and I'd like to do then a big UK Engage layout when I have my new space. So there is a space that's going to be there for me, and that's where we'll have a section of the Great Western Main Line. So highly likely it's not happening anymore, I'm afraid, at this moment in time. But that's where I want to be able to represent properly represent the Great Western from its smallest branch train to the big expresses and all the freights and all the rest of it. Just give you a real slice of basically what I'll be able to do with the Japanese here, but with the UK stuff. So I've tackled the American thing. It's a great idea, but I just do not have unless I gave over from the new space entirely to it, I don't have the space to do what I imagine for American stuff. You know, the massive freight trains and all the rest of it. That's what I want. That's what I'd want to do, and yeah, like it'd be part of the NKP. The Nickel Plate Road straight off, and it'd be in those fast freights. So you want space for it to pass through at speed, and yeah. At this point in time, I'm going to say not happening. Ironically, it's all a little fault. It's okay because it's a nickel plate one. So the rest of the stuff that I don't use on the Chinese layout, which basically is just I want 8 cars and some locomotives. I do have a Chinese outline diesel here, which some of you may have seen before. I believe it's actually an express passenger diesel. But I wouldn't mind getting something under that to make it work. I'm thinking of a class 47 chassis or something maybe under that to make that go. But yeah, and then that can be used on here as well. I'll put it now. There you go on the lap. Yeah, so there's only one more idea that I haven't touched on yet. Only one more idea that I've had I can think of anyway. Let me know in the comments if you know any more. But that is Europe, mainland Europe. Now I usually live vicariously through Anthony Dodge for this, but yes, there is actually part of mainland Europe that's probably somewhat to model it myself. I do have some N-scale items, including a can you actually see it? Behind there. Where are you hiding? Oh, there it is. Just above the Flight Control Atomics one there. Just above my finger. A Fleischmann 464 tank. Yeah, so that I've got some coaches, got some wagons, and I have another, and remember the happiness line, I do have another layout board that size. So, small European layout there, probably set in France or Belgium, possibly leading a bit towards Belgium, with the idea of getting hold of some of the German locos that were gifted after the First World War, so sort of interval layout there. Or gifted. Let's say what it was. It was repayments for the First World War, reparations for the First World War, parts of this and the stuff there. But at least it was something actually needed, unlike the church spires. If you go to particular parts of France and Belgium, and look at the size of the church spires where they would have been obliterated or whatever during the First World War, you'll notice they are ridiculously tall because they were trying to squeeze every last penny out of the Germans for the reparations for the First World War. But yeah, so basically with that in mind, a little layout for the German stuff. So I'll still have to live vicariously through Anthony for his lovely big running stuff, but I will be able to do something so I'll touch everything. And that way, when I get my different flights of fancy and I'm going, oh, I really want to do that, I get that layout out and use that. That's the idea. It's like whenever I go, wouldn't mind doing that, there's a layout there ready to go. I mean, it might be that I keep some boxcars, because obviously this won't be using many boxcars. I keep pointing towards where the Chinese layout is. And I do something similar again for America, with a switcher, just a simple switcher that runs well, and do some, I'll keep some boxcars, have a little section of the nickel plate, that way I'm really covered. But that might have to wait till the new space as well, but yeah, then the rest they all can have. Right, well I think that's all from me. It's been a long video, I know. And I think what I'll do is, rather than tag it on the end here now, I will, because you've had a bit of running for the Japanese stuff, and I'll put some UK bits at the end that I may not have posted anywhere else. Oh, on YouTube yet before. And then that will be it. I won't do any of the Chinese out just yet. I'll do a separate video for that. So yes, there'll be some separate, quite a few different series, I suppose, to follow if you're into that sort of thing. Japanese layout, Chinese one, UK one. For now, that would be it. The 3 N-gauge ones. But obviously, then in the future, there'll be the 00 UK, the N-gauge UK, the other big one. Europe, and at some point the First World War one. So yes. So till next time. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and be well. I'm going to finish off this Duke dog. What I need to do is add the number transfers to the bus beam. There's a little bit of black to put in. Some rubberized black on the pipe work at the front. Then I'll mask off the windows, take the tender and the body down once the transfers are all on, or decals if you prefer, roll on, take them down, varnish it, and then reassemble it. So I reckon I'll have that done today. I'd like to have it done and out of the way back in its box. I might take a little clip of it going backwards and forwards on this little short section of the double O track I've got set up here. But yes, I think we've cracked it, folks. So yeah, and any suggestions for what we think might work under that Chinese diesel will be most appreciated, because that would be fantastic to get that running, wouldn't it? You know, it's genuinely Chinese. Now apparently I did see on someone's stream a while back that apparently there is a company looking at doing some Chinese steam locos in N, which would be fantastic. And if I could just get hold of an SY, I mean a QJ would be fantastic. They're enormous. They are huge locos. So not sure it'd actually fit on here, but then I could always run it with the 8 coal wagons around one of the loops, couldn't I suppose? But yeah, I just need to get more coal cars. But yeah, so I'm really lucky. I've really looked out there that because I've got some of the HO. I've actually got all my Chinese HO back when HO ones. They are basically the same as the American ones. So really looked out there. I'm going to have a look at some of the rolling stock that might be seen around in mine. If there's any art box cars or something like that, I can sort of, because I've got some box cars which I brought bulk lots, you see, and some of them are sort of damaged, but could be good donors for scratch build aids to make some Chinese ones maybe. But yeah, because we've got to have some way of identifying the different ones, so I can do the shunting. But yes, so till next time, stay safe, take care and be well, and enjoy the clips after this, and I'll see you next time. Bye!